It looks like they've got the De Ligt deal over the line. This was him earlier today, landing in Turin on a private plane. Matteo, for people who haven't followed this story, why is this such a coup for Juve to get a player like De Ligt?
Because he's potentially the best centre-back in Europe once he matures and he keeps getting more experience. He's shown that he can do it in the Champions League against the best opposition, and he follows in line with Juventus's traditionally great defensive line. Chiellini is in his twilight, so is Bonucci. He's approaching it. Barzagli is out, and all of a sudden, you have the new generation that they've been going and shopping for this summer. And with De Ligt, they're paying a handsome figure to get him, €7.5 million net a season, potentially going to 12, so it cost them a lot. Every big team was on his trails, but I think the most exciting thing for Juve is this isn't just an Eredivisie player coming over. He's tasted the Champions League as well. He's shown he can do this against the best strikers in Europe. This is a massive signing for Juve.
And of course, Matteo makes a good point, doesn't he, Jules? Because the big boys were after him. Barcelona and PSG in particular, just showing what sort of quality this youngster offers.
Yeah, definitely. And for a long time, Juve were not heading that race at all. Barcelona thought they had him. Then PSG certainly thought they had him, and Leonardo and Tero Henrique as well. And in the end, we remember that that footage between Cristiano Ronaldo and De Ligt when Portugal played the Netherlands in the Nations League. And Ronaldo saying to De Ligt, why don't you come to Juventus? And maybe that was a key point as well in those negotiations. But the price tag was always there, 75 million euros for whoever wanted it. That was the money that Ajax wanted. And Juventus found that agreement with Mino Raiola and with De Ligt, although it took them a long time to go over the line with this one. But I think, like Matteo just said, they would be delighted with De Ligt.
Stevie, you were renowned as one of the best defenders of your generation. This player has the potential to do that as well?
I wish he was signing for Liverpool. I mean, I can't imagine him and Van Dijk week in, week out. They're great as a pairing for Holland. Can you imagine if it was like for Liverpool? Unfortunately...
How did we get onto Liverpool in this conversation?
Oh, sorry, you brought it up.
I said that you were very good back in the day for Liverpool.
Listen, and by the way, let me tell you, this guy's fantastic. He can actually do everything. The one thing that he has to do now is get more experience. That's it.
Yeah.
Because now and again, because he's 19, because he's inexperienced, he picks up the wrong starting spot. Once he sorts that out, he's absolute dynamite.
And this is something you brought up before as well, Shaq.
Yes.
He just needs to gain a little more experience.
I think so. Listen, I understand why everybody is so full of praise for De Ligt, but I still think he's got an error or two in him. And we saw that coming to the end of last season, both for Ajax against Spurs and for Holland in the UEFA Nations League, which is why I felt that this move to Juventus was the best fit for him. Given Juventus's own experience with centre-backs, given the centre-back that they still have on their books, what a better place to enjoy that learning curve, or to get the best out of that learning curve and De Ligt in the long term.
You've been busy. All the big clubs you take a look at this summer, and they've been busy in the free transfer market, of course, picking up Aaron Ramsey from Arsenal and Rabiot as well. Their aim is obviously Champions League. That's what it's all about, isn't it, for Juve this season? Trying to make the most of Cristiano Ronaldo while he's still at his peak.
Yeah.
Are they good enough to do that?
Of course they're good enough. They have to be considered now a top 3 team in Europe. It's now or never. They have Ronaldo for 2 more years. The signings they made, by the way, Rabiot should be a starter. I think Aaron Ramsey will also be a starter alongside Miralem Pjanic in that midfield 3. If Ramsey can stay healthy, we know the quality he has. And in the defense, you can make the case this is the best defense in Europe, certainly the one with the most depth. They also went out and got Romero and Demiral, 2 very good young defenders from last season in Serie A. So, I mean, they have talent in every single department. You could make the case, though, maybe one more world-class midfielder is that final piece they need. I think if you compare them to Barcelona or Manchester City, that's the area where they lack.
And I think many would concur with Matteo, Jules. Are they finished in the market with De Ligt, or can they get that attacking midfielder that maybe he was mentioning?
No, I think they'll probably get a striker before the midfielder. I think Mauro Icardi, we know how much talk they've been through the summer between Icardi and Fabio Paratici, the sporting director there, and Vandanara as well, Icardi's wife and agent. I think Chiesa is also a possibility because they also want to strengthen, their attacking options, if you want. But I agree, in midfield, you still need someone a bit more powerful than what they have already, someone a bit stronger physically, maybe even more box-to-box profile than Rabiot, what Rabiot can offer, or even what Emre Can can offer, or Bianconeri can offer. But they still have a lot of players in that midfield for Sarri to choose from.
Does Icardi make sense to you?
I don't think he does. I don't think he's a Sarri-type player. Icardi isn't someone that will come back to the midfield like Sarri wants from his strikers. He's not a striker who's entirely comfortable with the ball at his feet. He's not a good passer. He's someone who is a traditional poacher, stays inside the box. I don't think he works quite well. It's not a natural fit for the kind of striker Sarri wants.
Is Sarri a natural fit for Juventus?
That's another thing. I don't know. We're going to have to see with the demeanor. There were plenty of reports that at Chelsea, the board, the people behind the scenes were starting to get really sick of him. Hazard, maybe not the best relationship with him. So I'm very curious to see how Cristiano Ronaldo takes to him. What Sarri has done is very unconventional, very unorthodox. And this either will go amazing, where they win the Scudetto in November, or it's going to go all pear-shaped and you might not last the season.